Actually, I was born in Derry in 1935, April 1935, and my father was a four-man fitter with Stewart and Partners who built the airfield, so he was on the move quite often. We moved from there to Lismacarroll to live, and while out there we went to Ardmore School, Glendermot School, and I was just about 6 years old then, as 1941, when I remember the American technicians building Beach Hill. They were clearing tons of earth with these big Caterpillar tractors, earth moving equipment, to make a foundation for the US Marines.
This, in fact, was before America officially entered the war?
Yes, this is correct. They were in civilians, and America didn't enter the war until Pearl Harbor was struck in 1942. Well, as children, the thing we missed most was sweets. There was always a short supply of sweets because you needed coupons to get your sweets out of the shops and so on. But the border wasn't all that far away regarding foodstuffs, and there was never a real shortage of food because the people had access to the farms, and there was always a plentiful supply of potatoes and vegetables and so on. The only real thing, a shortage in the city, was tea and sugar were the main things, which you got over the border, no problem there. In 1945, my father then was transferred to Eglinton, and we moved then down to Eglinton. We lived in a big farmhouse there, owned by McNichols. Their daughter lived on one side and we lived on the other, a beautiful big farmhouse. And it was just north of the airfield. And the road leading to the farmhouse, the runway had been built over the original road, so we had to go around the perimeter track and down through the dispersal areas to get back and forward. And passes were issued by the Navy for the people living there to do that.
So tell me a little bit about your memories of Eglinton and the people or the flyers who were coming in there.
Oh, I remember very well. Actually, I don't remember the pilots of the famous Eagle Squadron, but I remember seeing their aircraft there. Although we did invite one of the pilots back, Bill Edwards, about 5 years ago here to the city. And but I remember the Corsairs and Hellcats and Wildcats flying from Eglinton. They were Lend-Lease, they were big naval aircraft, and the Seafires and Barracudas and Swordfish and Seafires, and they were all prominent in the naval battles of World War II. Oh, Maydown was a very important base during the war. Maydown's role in the war was they had the biggest squadron ever, the biggest ever naval squadron, 836, and their role, they had a pool of 90 aircraft there, all Swordfish, and the sinkings in the Atlantic of merchant ships became so serious that drastic measures had to be taken. So what the authorities did, they converted 19 merchant ships to mini aircraft carriers by fitting a flat top on them and a little island there to control aircraft. And the aircraft for these, known as MAX ships, now there were 13 tankers and 6 grain ships among these 19 converted ships, and they still carried approximately 70% of their load. But they had also on board probably adding up to 3 or 4 aircraft, Swordfish from Maydown. They were all given names, Mac this, Mac and so on. That's why they're called Mac ships. Now, as soon as the convoy assembled off the Clyde to go to America, and as soon as they appeared off the north coast of Ireland, the Swordfishers took off from Maydown and landed aboard. Now, up to this time, as many as 40% of some convoys were being lost in sinkings, and that was serious. And when the Swordfishes and the MAX ships started operating from Maydown, from that until the end of the war, only one merchant ship was lost on any convoy escorted by the aircraft from Maydown, which shows you the important role they played there.
What was Maydown known as during the Second World War?
Well, the RAF didn't have anything other than a name, Maydown RAF station. All the naval stations were named after birds, seabirds. So Eglinton was called Gannet, HMS Gannet. They were actually ships at shore, Maydown was known as HMS Shrike. The number of personnel, you mean on each airfield or on all the airfields? Each airfield, the number of personnel in Eglinton could be up to 4,000. and you can get at Ballykelly, the Maydown. When you look at the married quarters alone that are built around here, it gives you a fair idea. The married quarters alone, how many personnel, runs into thousands.
So a major contribution by any stretch of the
Oh
imagination.
yes, and the local economy as well, of course.